What's good, y'all? It's your boy, Coach Carl, just checking the stats real quick, trying to find any fights that we got coming up. Boxing is on a big thing right now. If y'all watched the boxing matches over the weekend, they were off the chain. We got some boxers coming up, some no-name fighters, somebody that we don't know a whole lot about. Then on November the 29th, we do got that Ben Whitaker fight. He just signed with the Zone. But I don't see nothing else popping off, man. For real, for real. I don't see nothing else. December the 6th, we got that Lamont Roach and Isaac Pitbull. And Janet Beck and Israel Londi Laura. O'Shea Foster and Stephen Fulton. That's going to be a good card right there. Yeah, man. What y'all got going on around the world today? It's your boy, Coach Carl. Mr. 58 is the new 28, and I'm just up here. I just came back in the crib from a 3.5 mile speed run. I was booking today, man. I wasn't playing. I wasn't trying to be out there. Sometimes when you ain't trying to be out there, you gotta run a little faster. You gotta run a little harder. It was a nice day outside today, man, but I had some stuff I had to do when I got back to the crib, so I went on and jumped it, bro. When I got something to do at the crib, I ain't gonna not run. I'm just gonna run faster. I'm gonna run shorter, but I'm gonna run faster. So rather than run 5 miles at 8 minutes a mile, I was down at 7:08 a mile for 3.5 miles. I wanted to get back to the crib so I can get back up in the house. Got some things I got to do this afternoon. Yesterday I was running late on my dinner. Can't do that again because it'll be changing my dinner time. My dinner time is 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock every day. I eat for that 1 hour and then I put the fork down, bro. Then I put the fork down. What my people doing? Where y'all at around the world? What's going on with you? Did y'all watch the fights this weekend? Did y'all watch that Devin Haney, Brian Norman fight this weekend? It was off the chain. What's up, bro? Just checking in on you and hope you're doing well and hope you're recovering from surgery. No, man, I don't recover from no surgery. I ain't never had surgery a day in my life, bro. The only time I've been in the hospital was when I was born. Fasting is the big, best health secret. You ain't know that? Man, that's not a secret. Everybody should know that. Fasting is the #1 thing you can clean out your system. I fast like once a month. I go and do 2 days, 48 hours. It ain't nothing to it once you start doing it. Hey, look, I just decide. I walk in the kitchen and decide I ain't going to eat. I'm that simple. So why is Bitcoin failing? Because you got your money in it. I took my money out of Bitcoin a long time ago because it keep going up and down. It's unpredictable. Bitcoin is unpredictable. It was a buck. It was 101. Now it's down to 86. It is what it is, man. With all the stuff going on in the world, everything is failing. What's good, Coach? Yes, sir. What's good with you? Zay, man. Zay here, man. What's up, Zay? What's good with you? How y'all doing out there in the real world? Man, it's warm outside where I stay, dog. It's warm. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, this is unseasonably warm weather for November, for the end of November. Here it's feels like 64 degrees outside with a high of 70 today. Man, I'm talking about it's a little warm out there today. How's Mr. Donald Trump good for Earth? I don't know. You got to ask him. Hey, look, I don't follow politics. I really don't, because it just confuses you. So many rules in politics, man. You got to be careful what you say and what you do. Say it's cold on the other side of the pillow, man. Hey, it ain't no cold on the other side of the pillow in here. Hey, look, it's warm outside today, but I do like that other side of the pillow. Hey, man, you got to get the right sheets for that. When you got them cotton sheets with that little bit of cotton and a little bit of polyester, and you flip that pillow over, it's cold on the other side. Say you need training, though? No, you just need to get up in the morning, go for a walk, come home and do some push-ups and some crunches. That's all training is. Training is just starting at the beginning and working your way up until your routine get bigger. That's all training is. People think it's a great philosophy behind training. It's just training. Eating carrots for good health. Yeah, it's a lot of things you can eat for real. You know what I'm saying? I'm vegan, so you know I'm only on that vegetable and fruit and nut diet, man. You know what I'm saying? Vegetable, fruits, and nuts. Plant-based protein. That's how I get down. Can't stand carrots. Hey, look, I eat carrots in a lot of my vegetable mixes. Hey, look, I ain't a fan. It ain't like eating, pizza, but it do what it's supposed to do. Other suggestions other than carrots, a whole lot of vegetables out there. Everything that come out of the ground is good to eat. So my advice for 226, hey man, do something different. Because whatever you did in 225 that wasn't working, don't repeat it. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting something different to happen. So if you was doing it in 2025 and it wasn't working, and you just kept going up and down the scale, up and down the scale, and you found yourself having more of a headache than you're smiling, then don't do it in 2026. Start the year off right on the first day. Say this is gonna be my year, and believe it. Look in the mirror and tell yourself that every single day, and don't change it. Start it and rock with it. You know what I'm saying? Change where you eat, change where you sleep, change who you hang out with, change everything. Make 2026 your year. Say happy birthday. Happy birthday to Kelly Brocco 1641. What's good with you? Glad you had a day. Glad you had a day. That make you a Scorpio? That makes you a Scorpio? Because I'm a Scorpio. My birthday was November the 5th. Hey, look. Say I couldn't become a trauma helicopter pilot. I tried, and the third time it worked. If I didn't try again, I wouldn't do my awesome job now. So, no thank. I ain't gonna listen. I don't know what you're talking about. Said it ain't bad advice. I said a lot of people that didn't make it try something different. I'm glad you're a trauma pilot. But if you're a helicopter trauma pilot, then you should be pushing out good vibes, not negative vibes. You helping people every day. You coming up here trying to tell people that I give out bad advice. I don't give out no advice. I just listen to people and I just redirect what they already talking about. But I appreciate you being here. And I hope you do a better job at being a helicopter pilot than you do remarking on comments. Say, how old am I? I look 45. I'm 58 years old. Say, I'm new here. Is this normal? Yeah, it's normal. We talk about, it's mostly a boxing and karate live stream. Mostly I'm doing boxing and karate. If you look at my channel, you'll see I got a lot of videos about boxing and karate, about health. I'm vegan. I train 7 days a week, 3.5 hours a day. I'm always talking about training. Appreciate y'all for being up here. What up, Coach Carl? I'm back on the workouts. No more being sick. I'm dressing warm. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, look, you got to stay focused. You got to stay focused. That's what I tell people all the time. Stay focused. Sometimes sickness will try to get you down. Don't let it. J Hud 72. Carl, I see you. I see you too. What's good with you? Glad you up here. Y'all let me know what y'all been doing. Say you save kittens every day. Hey, look, that's a good thing. Hey, look, the news don't never talk about that. The news always talk about kids that get caught in fires and people that's robbing people and stealing. And I tell them I also put some good stories on TV every now and then. Talk about some kittens being born or some puppies being born. Some cute little puppies. They're always talking about the negative stuff because they say negative sells the news. But it only sells it because you keep pushing it, and that's the only thing people get to buy. Yeah, did I ever wrestle? Yeah, I used to wrestle. I like wrestling. I like any one-on-one contact sport. What's the weather like here? Hey, look, right now the weather is 69 degrees, which it ain't supposed to be. It's supposed to be like 40 something, but it's 69 degrees, so it's a little warm. Hey, look, say you look good for 58. I appreciate it. God been blessing me. OG, what's up, brother? King Lou TV 31. Hey, look, what's good with your homeboy? Turn this other phone off. It's over here ringing. People trying to call me, man. You can't call me. Why you see me on live stream? Then they say I called you because you was on live stream. They ain't gonna say nothing if I put them on the speakerphone. OG, what's up, brother? Hey, look, I'm having fun over here, man. I'm over here just chilling. It's been a long day, man. Not much, man. This first time in here, brother. Hey, look, I appreciate you being here, though. Because you could be anywhere doing anything in the world, but you chose to be here on this live stream. And tell us what you do for a living. Tell me if you got a YouTube channel I need to go check out. I turned 58 on the 4th, on July the 4th. Hey, look, glad to still be here, bruh. Hey, look, God could have took me with me a long time ago, but he kept me here. You know why? Because I got more things to do. I got more people to reach. I got more people to talk to. You says, why do I be ignoring you, brother? I don't know. These things move so fast. Let me see. Hey, look, because you asking me silly questions. Hey, look, you know I ain't never been homeless. I've been rich, but I ain't never been broke. Hey, look, he wanted me to go back and answer a silly question. Come on, dog. Do better next time, man. I ain't never been homeless. I ain't never been broke. Of course, I ain't never been dead. People ask me all kinds of crazy questions. But I appreciate you being up here. Hey, look, if you just want to be seen up here, just say, hey, look, brother, do you see me? That's a whole lot easier than asking me something silly. I speak the truth on my channel. Most of my live streams, I discuss current events. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. King Lou TV? Let me back that up so I can screenshot it. So I can pull you up in a minute. Daggone it, hit the wrong button. There we go. I got you, bro. I'm gonna be, hold up. Let me see something. I got my other phone. I got my other phones right here. Let's see. Make sure we on. Let's see. At King Lou TV 31. King Lou TV 31. Oops. TV 31. King Lou TV 31. Okay. Is that you right there, brother? That you right there, King Lou TV? All right, I just hit the subscribe button, bruh. Hey, look. We're going to help each other out. Hey, look, anybody up here want to hear what he say? He talked the truth, speak the truth. Live streams, I discuss current events. Hey, look, anybody up here want to go to some current events and see what's going on my man King Lou TV? Y'all know the address at King Lou TV 31. Holla at your boy. Oh, you said? Oh, I thought you were saying. Hey, look, when most people say stuff like that, they should be a little bit more clear. They be telling me I remind them of a guy that got punched in the face last week. You know what I'm saying? People be saying some crazy stuff up here, man. If you've been up here before, you know that. But I ain't never been homeless. And if I remind you of somebody, I hope it was a good brother. Say a Scorpio. J Hud 72, a Scorpio. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we doing right now. We Scorpios in the house. What's up? Checking in from Chicago? Man, what's good, Chicago? 10 balls. 10 balls. Hey, look, man, you got a holler name though, for real. Adam Levi, 1216. I appreciate it, dog. But some of y'all got some crazy names, man, but I be loving it though. Same with me. He's ignoring my question too. I didn't get your question. If I ain't, hey, look, rather than say that, how about you just tell me what the question is? You talk, hey, look, y'all don't know how fast this thing move, man. When there's people up online, that don't move quick, bruh. And as long as it ain't no stupid question, bring it back. Hey, bro, nice to catch a live from the start. How's it, mate? Hey, man, I'm doing good, bruh. I'm over here chilling, man. It's been a long day. I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning, came downstairs, put that 3.5 hour workout in. Then, y'all know, after I do my 3.5 workout, first thing I start doing is recording footage before I can make some videos for my YouTube channel. And then, because I got a bunch of YouTube channels. I don't know if y'all know that, but I got a bunch of channels. So every channel is something different. But then on top of that, man, I did a little bit of shadow boxing, hit the bag for a few minutes, and then I just came back from a 3.5 mile run. Say wrestling and martial art effective. Wrestling and effective martial art. You agree? Yeah, I agree. My biggest thing is boxing. I love boxing because I teach boxing like an art. It ain't just about throwing punches. It's about knowing where to throw them, knowing how to throw them, know where to hit, know where to land, know where to fake it at, know how to move and duck and block and bob and weave and the whole 9 yards. So yeah, I mix boxing with karate. And if I ever get attacked, somebody come in and scoop the legs, I'm good when I hit the ground. Got to have a good ground game, otherwise, when you hit the ground, the game is over. Love, hey, I appreciate that. Yeah, I said the same thing. Sonny, what did you ask him? King TV, I appreciate you, brother. I'll be here. I sub to your channel. I appreciate it, dog. So every time I get online, we can do the same thing. We can have these same kind of conversations. This way you can never get subscribers. Say this way you can never. I got subscribers. So what you talking about? Hey, look, you did everything but tell us what the question was. Look, you just up here talking. But I got a trick for you. Let them tell that story to somebody else. I tell y'all, I got 7 channels on YouTube right now. 7. This is my second fitness channel. This one's got right at about 2,000. My other fitness channel got 50,000. Crazy from Chicago. Hey, look, Chi-Town, baby. I only been there once. But Chi-Town, man, is tough, bruh. I ain't gonna lie. I like a lot of rappers outside of Chi-Town, man. Lil Durk is my dude, bro. 1,000. 1,000. Hey, look. Adam Levi's, it's okay, bruh. I can't talk to everybody. You know it's a lot of people up here. Can't talk to everybody. So if you're unhappy with the channel, all you gotta do is log off, bruh. I ain't mad at you. You gave me a little respect. You gave me a little props. Now keep it popping. Hey, look. Kieran Scott Fitness Journey. Hey, look. I think I said it right. But look, appreciate it. I'm doing good. MASEN Smith 15. What's good with you? Nah, I never used Fever. Nah, I never used it before for my branding. Can I do a backflip? Nah, I'm too old to be backflipping right now, bruh. I'm in perfect health, perfect shape. I used to do backflips when I was a young buck. But nah, I don't try no backflips now. I don't try nothing that's gonna put me out the game. Because if you do a backflip wrong at 58 years old, you're gonna be in the hospital. So you the type to dive at legs on a one-on-one? Hey, look, it is what it is. I'm the type that know how to knee. I know how to take that back step back with the back foot and catch you on the knee or catch you with an uppercut or drop that elbow on top of that head. So I wouldn't suggest doing that to somebody that's actually got martial arts skills. My biggest martial art always told me don't get the ground. So we always learn to protect the ground, learn to defend against going to the ground. And where am I from? I'm from Hampton, Virginia. Yeah, it's different things, man. Look, when I was a street fighter, I take them to the ground too, because most people don't know how to get down on the ground. But for a real seasoned guy, when you take them to the ground, you're in trouble. So you better have some wrestling. You better have some judo. I spent a little time in judo when I was about 18, 19 years old. I spent a little time learning how to toss people around. So, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I like the fight game, the whole fight game, from kicking to punching, elbowing to kneeing. I mean, I do the whole thing. I spent my whole life doing it. So I was good at it because I spent my whole life doing it. I wasn't them guys that throw a bunch of super haymakers. I was a guy that could throw a 16-piece combination. I was fast. I throw kicks. I'm a high kicker. I kick in the face because I like to prove a point. So I spent a lot of time with that quick snap. Pop! Quick. But I like the fight game. I like everybody's fight game. There's a lot of people out here that's got a real good fight game. I pulled up on some street fighters one day when I owned my gym. I saw two guys in the back, it was a street behind the gym, and they was fighting. And I was just like, I invited them to the gym. They were so good. I mean, they was actually going ham. And won't now one of them a sucker. So rather than see them out in the street fighting, I brought them in the gym. Let them do it in the ring. Sometimes you can make a good fighter out of a street fighter. And let that guy get some trophies instead of just getting some knots on his head. Coach, I don't know what that is. No, I don't know what that is. So I never practiced it because I don't know what it is. Come on, break it down. Tell me what it is. Nah, you ain't gonna eat it with your forehead. Trust me, not the way I throw it. Hey, look, a lot of people thought that. I hate to tell y'all stories. Like, I don't like to tell y'all negative stories, but let me give you this much. 36 stitches, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. You ain't blocking nothing. I got over 40 years of kicking and kneeing experience, bro. I started taking karate at 7 years old. You ain't blocking nothing that I throw. I don't care if you got your guard up. I'm hitting guard. I've hit guard. And I'm talking about breaking stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't doing baby punches. If you ever seen my work, you ever seen me work out, you ever seen my bag work, you know I ain't throwing baby punches. But there's guys out there with more experience than me. I'm just saying it ain't a good idea. It ain't a good idea. No, I don't know. It's a meditation practice. I never know it, bruh. But I'm going to look it up because I like to know different things. What's my rank in karate? You figure it out. I did it for 20 years. Can you do anything for 20 years and not reach the top? 20 years. 20 years of karate, 20 years of boxing. And I was an instructor in both. So you tell me. I'm like Bruce Lee. Belts don't matter to me. But in 20 years, you can just about imagine what belt I had on. Hey, good job. Hey, look, no hate. I ain't, like I said, belts don't mean nothing to me. I know people that get first and second degree black belts that couldn't beat a brown belt. When my son was, I think he was 12, he was a brown belt. Now, I had two sons that was in karate, and I taught their class. When he was a brown belt, he couldn't even fight brown belts in a tournament. He had to fight black belts, and those guys didn't know nothing. So to me, it's not about the belt. sometimes if you got a program to tell you can get from 0 to black belt in 3 years, that don't mean nothing to me. See, because a lot of people do that. But if you know you've been in karate long enough to get some belts on your waistline, then you know the deal. You know, there's a lot of people that stood next to you with them belts on that won't worth 5 cents, and you knew it when you sparred them. You knew it when you competed against them. I was the guy that was a white belt, and they didn't think I was a white belt when I was a yellow belt. White, yellow, orange, purple, blue, green, brown, and black. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to know your game. Hey, look, we all retired now. I retired to coaching. That's what I try to tell people. They see me hitting the bag or kicking the bag, and the first thing they say is, when you got to fight. I'm 58 years old. I don't fight no more. I can, but I don't. Yeah, I said we can. We trained. I got everything in my room. Throwing stars. I got swords, tumpha, size, bow, pocket knife. I keep a pocket knife on me everywhere I go. I learned the game. Hey, look, man, I ain't about to take no L's, bruh. You know what I'm saying? You know, L's hurt now. When I was 18, I could take an L and get back up. Not now. At 58 years old, you know, somebody hit me wrong, hit me strong, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? So what I do, I protect myself. That's why I tell people, man, I got a lot of years in the game. You know what? You know why I didn't keep taking belt tests? When I got my first, you know, I ain't keep going to fourth. You know why? Because them belt tests is $250, $300 a test. And I ain't understand what we paying for. First of all, we don't learn but 2 or 3 katas after that. And look, so I ain't gonna keep on paying money. You know the deal. They just chasing money. You understand what I'm saying? They chasing money. If a guy got 9 degrees on, he got to have about 30 years in the game. And in order to have 9 degrees, he done already spent like $6 grand. And don't make it good. Don't make it good at all. Say yeah, for a certificate. They give you, hey, look, they charge you even more if the certificate come from Japan. You know what I'm saying? Because I was Okinawa Shorin-ryu. So they send me a certificate from Japan signed by a master. Now I got to pay like $500 for that certificate. Man, please. You can keep all them extra belts. 1 black belt is enough. You know what I'm saying? They told me I was going to have to pay $250 for my son to take a black belt test when he was brown belt for a junior black belt. The way he turned 18 years old, that belt don't mean nothing no more. He got to retest. What kind of crap is that? I ain't about that life. I kept him at brown belt. Let him beat up everybody. So you know the deal. You in the art, you know the deal. What style art did you take, homeboy? What style was you taking? See, like I tell you, like that's why when you go to Japan, they don't do the same thing we do here. Ain't no white the black belt in 3 years. Ain't no programs like that. You work on the same kata for like a year. They might give you 5 katas and you're gonna perfect them katas. In America, what we do, we force feed you katas. I'm talking about Pinan Shodan, Pinan Godan, or the whole 9. You know what I'm saying? They give you a whole lot of katas. And then guess what? At the end of the day, you don't even know what the kata's for. You thinking you're doing a certain move and it's considered a block, but it's really a punch, or it's really an elbow under the forearm under the neck. You know what I'm saying? You don't learn the application of the kata till you become a black belt. They do that on purpose. They keep you in the game. They are strictly learning how to keep you paying money. You say oh, okay. Taekwondo, I like Taekwondo. I learned a lot from a guy that was in Taekwondo. He showed me a lot of different ways to kick and different ways to train to kick so I could throw multiple kicks. Yeah, I'm like you, man. We kind of got the same history. I dabbled a little bit in judo, took a class or 2 in Taekwondo, spent a whole lifetime in Okinawa Shorin-ryu. Then I spent a lot of years in boxing. I just like the fight game, man. It was always a one-on-one thing with me. I didn't care about the other guy. It was a one-on-one thing. A great teacher and understanding of Kyugan is a in guy with George Xavier Love, Q Love, very informative and solid understanding. Okay, well we need, hey look, everybody need to meditate, bruh. I meditate in the morning when I wake up. I feel like a monk, man. I tell people, man, I'm living a monk lifestyle. What it do? T-Mac 1224. I feel that. And Russell, I did that too. Russell too, bruh. I love the fight game. Hey, look, it's just about, the fight game is a different kind of game. It ain't about hurting the guy. It's about out-pointing, out-smarting, outwitting another guy. It's like my skill against his skill. My eye against his eye. My block and counter against his block and counter. I tell people all the time, I counted the counter. I threw something, bang, he counted and shoot back, pop, I counted back. I was ready for that. But you got to be ready for that. Say Taekwondo got spinning back kicks. Taekwondo got every kind of kick. I like the spinning back, the crescent, the hook kick, the axe kick, the round kick. Round kick was my favorite as long as I'm throwing doubles. Pat, pat. I want to put you with them both, bruh. Hey, wish you had me as your coach. Hey, look, we would have been on. Like buttered popcorn, we'd have been on. I just like the game. It's always about the game. It wasn't even so much about winning a trophy. I won so many trophies, I started giving the trophies back. When they give you the trophy with the plaque on it, we used to take the plaque off, put it in the house, and get a trophy back in another tournament. It ain't about the trophies. I had so many trophies, I had more trophies than I had furniture. Look, you feel the fighting spirit? Hey, look, man, you understand the deal. How many trophies I got? I don't have as many as I had. Hey, man, we got tired. We moved so many times, man, like every 4 or 5 years, I'll move to a better house. You know, I had nice houses, just wanted a different house. We wanted a different apartment, to a bigger apartment. It was always an apartment, then we moved to a big apartment, then we moved to a townhouse, then we moved to a bigger townhouse. So every time we moved, we had trophies went all the way around the room. 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot Grand National Championship trophies. You always win. If you win first, second, and third, you always win a Grand National. So the Grand National Championship trophy is always 5 feet. You win the 3 feet trophies for first place at the end. So we had too many of them. I had 2 sons that was in karate right along the same time with me. I taught their class. And they were little guys. They were 15. My oldest son was 15 when he stopped, and my other son was 13. And then we went straight from karate straight into boxing. And trophies just collect dust. Hey, look, if you know something about moving trophies around, I know you do, but I'm going to break it down for you. When you move a trophy around, what happens? Move it around too many times, and what happens? That little 4 prongs start getting wickety. Then you got to go up there and you got to screw it and tighten it up. And then them Jones start turning colors, whether it was gold and blue when you got them, and now they gold and silver. You know what I'm saying? You keep dusting them and they turn colors on you. Yeah, you know the deal. You see, I got medals behind me now, and that's the only reason I still got them is because I just like them hanging on the wall. They decorate my workout area. 6 feet trophies, man. Them Jones too big. Hey, look, I won so many trophies at one tournament, I had to call a friend of mine. He had a pickup truck. I had to call him on the phone and tell him, because I had a small car. I couldn't put them trophies in my trunk. They would hung out the back. And that little man, that little foot, hand get broken off. Ain't nothing worse than a trophy that's broke. Man, that's worse. I'd rather not have it. Yeah, I'm a boxer as well. I spent 20 years in boxing. Amateurs. Never fought pro, but I trained amateurs and I trained pros. A lot of people came to my gym. I had football players, basketball players, baseball players that came to my gym. If y'all ever heard of a guy named DJ Moore, DJ Moore was a defensive back for Chicago Bears back in 2009 to 2013. I don't know how many years he was there during that time frame, but he was a defensive back, about 5'8", 165 pounds. He used to come to my boxing gym, along with a lot of other people, but he was one of the guys that came to my gym because he said my workout was harder than anything he'd ever done. If y'all see me work out on my channel right here, you see some of my workout stuff, well, imagine me teaching a class, and I was hard. So, everybody, it's a karate figure, man, missing a foot. Yeah, you know the deal. And then you feel stupid. You got a bunch of trophies, like cripple trophies. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, that's why I said, hey, look, man, I kept them in good shape as long as I could, man. And then I took the plaques off of them so I could remember where I competed at. And bottom line was, man, I started giving them Jones away. Some of them didn't even come with a plaque. So you had to remember when you got it. Come on, man. You know the deal. But I love the game, though. I love the game. I love being in shape for the game. Bottom line is you train hard. Like, I understand now why Mike Tyson woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning. He said because he found out his opponent was waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning. He wanted to get 2 hours worth of training before he did. So that's what I do. I come downstairs, man, I swear to God, on everything I believe. I go to bed right now at 2 o'clock in the morning on most nights. That's time I go to sleep. But by 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm woke and I'm thinking about going downstairs to work out. It's been, I think I spent the whole 2 years coming downstairs at 2 o'clock in the morning. I was working out from 2 to 4 and then going running at 4 o'clock in the morning. The only reason why I stopped it, because winter came and I could care less about how cold it was. But I'm going to give you a little piece of good advice. When you running at 2 o'clock in the morning, you not the only one out there. And I ain't talking about no thugs. I don't care about that. I'm talking about them daggone coyotes and them foxes. They be outside at 2 o'clock in the morning. And they doing hunting season, because that's the time that they mates be having them pups, right? So they be out there hunting for them. And I'm out there running up and down the street, and I'm seeing something cross back and forth street look like a German Shepherd. Man, hey, look, ain't nothing worse than being outside at 4 o'clock in the morning and your wife don't even know where you at. And then all of a sudden you trying to explain to people how you got attacked by a wolf or attacked by a fox or a coyote. I ain't about that life. Because you can't kill them. If you do, you got to explain that to the people. They like, didn't you know you came outside doing their time? I used to work out with a lot of your well-known boxers in Gleason's gym in New York. Gleason's was a beast. I knew some guys that went to Gleason's, guys that I followed at one time. It was a guy that went to Gleason's in New York. He was a pretty good dude, man. I forgot his name, but he had short hair, had a little, about that much hair on the top, and the sides was bald, and his hair used to be all different colors. And he was talking a lot of trash to Shakur Stevenson at one time. They about the same age. Yeah, but Gleason's was a beast, man. Hey, look, I've been a little bit everywhere. Sometimes I just walked in gyms and just introduced myself. I wasn't coming there to spar or nothing like that. I've been older when I was out there doing that. But I just pop up in there and I talk to some guys, somebody hitting the bag. I might show them something. You'd be surprised how many people need you to show them something. Real talk. Some people, man, just out there. Some people ain't got coaches. Y'all go to certain gyms, and you done been to certain gyms where you go into a gym and there's people standing at the bag and ain't nobody work with him for like an hour. He just hitting the bag and he barely hit the bag, and you want him to hurry up and get off the bag so you can use it, because ain't nobody teaching him nothing. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody teaching him nothing. Every gym don't do what I did. I had both of my sons and another guy, and I used to send them guys around the room and help people out, showing them how to step and punch. I mean, everybody want to get in the ring, but everybody don't have the skills. It was people that didn't know how to do the basics. I'm talking about step and punch. They changing feet, throwing the wrong hand. They got the wrong hand out front. They doing all that. So you got to coach people, man. You got to coach them. They paying a fee for your gym. Good thing I don't got to worry about them wolves in the city, laugh out loud. Maybe a raccoon on a bad day. Hey, a raccoon will scratch you up on a bad day. You ever met a crappy or bad coach? I can't say the bad words, bro. I appreciate the comment, though. You ever met a crappy or a bad coach? I meet them all the time. I meet guys that don't know how to coach. It ain't their fault. They just ain't never been taught the basics, so they don't know how to teach. I tell people, when you go to a gym, the first set of things you're supposed to learn how to do is step and punch. That's the first thing. Learn how to throw a jab, learn how to throw a reverse punch, or a right hand, a cross, whatever you want to call it, a 1-2. Learn how to throw a 1-2. Learn how to step. Learn which hand go in the front. Learn how far to keep your feet apart. Learn where to hold your hands at. Then you learn the basics, how to cover, how to block. Then you know how to block the front, right? You got to know how to do that stuff. If you don't know how to do that, then you don't know the basics of boxing. Everybody want to throw them big haymakers, them big North Carolina swinging haymakers, but you ain't landing it. Why? Because you ain't set it up. And the bottom line is, a lot of coaches are getting paid, man. My gym during 2009 to 2013, my gym was only $40 a month. I charged $40 a month. People say, why are you so cheap? I said, because I'm here for the lesson, not here for the money. If I wanted to make money, it was plenty of gyms that came. It was gyms that seen me online, right? They would contact me online. In Louisville, Illinois, and North Carolina, the Navy bases, guys would call me on the phone and be like, have you ever thought about coaching for a team, another team, or bringing your top guys and then taking over my program? Man, I'm not trying to go through all that, because it's a lot of people in these programs that don't know how to teach. And then who's going to be my assistants? If I can't bring my sons with me, who going to know my sons was going to go to college? You know what I'm saying? So it was fine while it lasted. That's why I closed my gym. I had to close my gym because I didn't have help. I mean, there's no list of guys you can call. Yo, man, can you come through and help me coach? Everybody that say they're a boxing coach is not a coach. The bottom line is, a coach is responsible for your life. That's what my job was. My job was to be responsible for the upcoming of your life, the upbringing of your life. I was supposed to teach you everything about boxing. I was supposed to teach you why not to use boxing outside the ring. I was also supposed to teach you how to eat so that you can always make weight every time you had a fight. Then I got to teach you how to take a loss. That's one of the most important parts. I got to teach you how to take a loss because you're not going to win every fight. And you got to understand that when you don't win, you lose. And when you don't lose, you learn. But they don't understand that part. So that's a job. A coach's job is to make sure you are well-rounded. I mean, it's too many people learn a 1-2, and then they would go to the street and start fighting in the street. My whole thing was, I tell them, I said, listen, man, if I hear about you fighting in the street again, I'm going to take care of the gym. Bottom line. And that's what people do, man. You got a lot of blessed guys. I know a lot of coaches that will find a street fighter. And that street fighter would have a good right hand or a good left hand. And then they would teach him just a few basics and then throw him out there. He didn't know nothing about stepping and punching. He didn't know nothing about ducking and dodging, bobbing and weaving. He didn't know how to counter. He didn't know how to read the other opponent. He was just a street fighter. He just want to go straight ahead. You know how many people you get hurt like that? I seen people with their eye sockets hurt. I seen people with concussions. I seen people get knocked out in practice, come back and fight again in 15 minutes. Come on, man. Y'all should know better than that. And no, $40 was a lick, man. I was the cheapest gym in my area. Plain and simple, because it wasn't about the money. But let me tell you something. I had 131 students. Imagine that. 131 students. They ain't all come at the same time. Gym was open all day long. So I had some people that was there for fitness, some people that was there for health, some people that was there to lose weight, some people that was there for the amateurs, and a couple of guys that was there for the pros. I knew when to put them all together, when to join the classes and when to have weekend sparring sessions and whatnot. I matched the sparring sessions. A new guy against a new guy, a seasoned guy against seasoned guy, you know, that kind of stuff. And everybody knew the rules. No banging out, because we ain't getting paid for this. We ain't getting paid in training to bang out. So you gotta work with your guy. Yeah, we can do some good sparring, but we weren't out there throwing haymakers and trying to hurt the guy. And so my whole thing was 131 students, and I had 31 or 32 people that had pass books. Anybody that know anything about boxing know what a pass book is. A pass book looks like a passport. It's got your picture on one side and all your information. When you open it up and thumb through it, you see all your fights you ever had. So with that being the case, man, it was a lot of fun, but it was also a lot of work. And I ain't even gonna get to talking about how many parents, I had little guys, right? How many parents would drop their little guys off at 4 o'clock for a 6 o'clock class. You heard what I said? 4 o'clock for a 6 o'clock class. So, and then they would come back and pick them up. 6 o'clock class was 6 to 7. They come back and pick them up at 8. So I didn't babysit it from 4 to 8. Like 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds. Come on, man. That's what Deontay Wilder do. Throw nothing but haymakers, but really no good footwork or technique. Exactly. Deontay Wilder could have been a beast. I could take Deontay Wilder and make him a beast right now. I know what his capabilities are. And a good coach can look at you and tell what you're good at doing and basically work from that angle. And I ain't the greatest. I'm just one of the good guys. Ever had someone walk into your gym and challenge you? No. I had a reputation. Like I said, I was a street fighter before anything else. They would just come in and ask questions, and if they didn't like what they heard, they would leave. I had a gym full of stars. I had some guys that was really good at what they did. And I mean, I had a team. My team was called the Art of Boxing, AOB. That's why if you ever hear anybody say AOB for life, that was Art of Boxing for life. And I had a pretty good team of guys and whatnot. So no, nobody ever, no, you don't really challenge the coach. They would watch me work out and stuff like that. And they'd be like, I wasn't working out the way I am now, but they would watch me and they'd be like, yeah, he knows something. Because I was like I said, all these different mediums of martial arts. I mean, nobody never really challenged me. I mean, not that it would have been a problem, but I mean, I would have just put them out the gym. You know what I'm saying? But nobody ever challenged me. Hey, coach, I got a question. Is it okay to train in a small place like a box room for survival? Like a box room for survival. It's okay. I don't know what you're asking me exactly, but yeah, it's okay to train in a small place. This room right here is about 300 square feet. And so 300, 400 square feet. It's big enough for me to move around in. But you train according to how you want to fight. So remember, if you're training in a small room, then the fight's going to be close up. If you're training in a big room, then you see how much space is in the ring, then the guy can run. So you got to train to be able to chase somebody too. You might hit a guy one time and he spend the rest of the fight running. You know what I'm saying? And hitting you on the move. And you got to train for that. Gosh, I never thought of teaching someone how to take a loss. That's a tough vintage to practice or teach. You have to. Trust me. Some guys take a loss and they want to fight outside the ring. They want to go beat up somebody that they ain't supposed to beat up on just because they took an L. Sometimes it's depression. Sometimes it's stress. Sometimes it's, PTSD. I mean, it's a whole lot of things that revolve. Man, people killing themselves out here for a reason. And it ain't just because they winning. It's because they losing. Not in just the in the ring, in life. My question to you is, can you still hold your hands? If you say yes, then I want to give you some work. Yeah, I can still hold my hands. Hey, look, I'm 58 years old. I'm not dead. If you watch my videos, you know exactly what I'm capable of doing. So you didn't have to ask that question. I've been a star my whole life, dog. Hey, look, I don't play when it come to defense. I learned defense first. This is not something that, the reason why I like the art and I treat boxing like an art is because it never gets old. It never gets old. I'm the guy that stays in the game. I train 7 days a week. I train for 3.5 hours a day. I do kick practice at night for another 30 minutes to an hour. I do weight training, calisthenics. I do running. I mean, I am in the best shape of my life at 58 years old. I still do the same stuff. Just because I tell you I don't fight in the ring don't mean I can't. It just means I don't. Yeah, but there's a lot of people, man, that kill themselves. And the reason why they kill themselves is because they can't handle the pressure. The pressure is sometimes losing. And it's not just losing in the ring, it's losing in life. Sometimes a guy go to work, get fired, come back and shoot the whole place up. That's why he don't want to lose, bruh. He don't want to lose. So we got to learn how to talk to people. We got to learn how to deal with people. Some people just say, get out my gym, get out of my face, go on down the street, screw you, you a bum anyway. Then he come back and shoot the whole gym up. What you going to do then? Yep, it is crazy, dog. Life is crazy. Hey, look, I know a lot of y'all are brand new on my channel because I see a lot of names I've never seen before. But look, please do me the favor of signing up to my channel, hitting the subscribe button, leaving a comment as you're doing right now, leaving comments. If you can, hit the notification icon so you can be notified every time I drop a new video. But most importantly, more than anything else, just hit the subscribe button. So every time I get online, we can keep getting up here having these same kind of conversations. I never heard of a black person doing that. Oh, yes, you have. There's been a lot of black people. It was a girl that worked for entertainment, TV. She was a lawyer and she was a spokesperson. And she was a pretty girl. And she went up to the top of a building that they had a restaurant on the top floor, and then she jumped off. Black people kill themselves just like anybody else. Everybody not happy about life. What's your day today looking like now since not competing anymore? Training. Hey, look, you can't tell me I ain't competing because when I'm hitting the bag, I see a person. When I'm kicking the air, I see a person. When I'm doing pull-ups, I'm trying to get stronger so that I can be that person. You see what I'm saying? So I shadow box. Shadow boxing ain't nothing but visionary. I see pop, 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 pop. I see it all the time. I hit the bags. I do everything that I did in a gym besides sparring. I just spar the bag. And sometimes I have my wife hold the pads, or when my son come home for Christmas, I taught him how to hold the pads like I hold the pads. So I got paddle pads, I got gloves. I say, hold the pads for me and give me that kind of workout so I can beat the pads up. You know, the whole thing is you don't lose it, you just choose to do it different. You know what I'm saying? I still kick the bag the same way, and I don't want to have to kick nobody, but I will if I have to, because it's either going to be me or him, and I refuse for it to be him. You know, him beating me up. No. Yup. Shaking my head. Hey, look, man. Life got people doing some crazy stuff. Hey, look, man, for real. You got friends. When I went to a funeral one time, right? A young person had got killed. I went to a funeral. And you know what that man said, what the preacher said in the funeral? He said, look around the room. He said, for every 10 people you see, one of them going to be here in about a year. One of them going to be here in a year. And he ain't lied. That's how we losing so many people, man, for different things. People ain't out just committing suicide. They drinking suicide. They smoking suicide. Then they suicide. You feel what I'm saying? Suicide can come in all kinds of forms. You can die before you're dead. We have to understand that race has nothing to do with emotions and mental. We are the people, and people can go to any limit despite a race. Exactly. People think it's a race thing. No, it's not a race thing. It's just as many. Don't mean to say this, but it's just as many white guys out there smoking crack and getting high and bums as it is black guys. It's white guys out there doing the same thing that black guys are doing. It's Chinese guys doing the same thing that white guys are doing. It's people. People. There's a lot of stressed out people in the world. Stress can come from a whole lot of different directions. I'm talking about anything. Stress can come from everything. Stress can come from a job. Stress can come from a car breaking down. As they say, the straw that broke the camel's back, it might be the car. It might be your wife. Your wife can stress you out and not even know she's stressing you out. Your husband can stress you out and not even know he's stressing you out. Sex can stress you out. Not having a beard can stress you out. Christmas can stress you out because a lot of people can't afford the presents. I mean, it is what it is. Would I say I'm a better athlete or coach? I don't know. I'm kind of equal. I was just as good of an athlete, which made me a better coach because I understood it. I took some L's. So taking L's, you know how to live with the L. But the biggest thing is I can teach because I can look at people and determine what I think they need in order to get to the next level. Now, I might can't do that for myself, but what I do, if you notice anything about me, I train so much that I can't see my whole body, right? So I set my camera in the mirror, by the mirror, in my bathroom, and I stand up and I flex, and then I flex, and then I turn around and I flex, and then I look at my footage. And when I look at my footage, I try to determine what role I'm playing. Like, what am I working on? How is it working? Am I growing in a certain area? Hey, look, man, that's me flexing. That was me flexing like a couple of days ago. And that was the front. Then I turned around because I want to see the back. I didn't even remember, man, real talk. I didn't even remember I had tattoos on my back. Because the whole thing is, you're never going to see like this is me. You're never going to see what muscles you have in the back because you can't see your back. So because I'm always I'm a perfectionist, I like to make sure that my whole body is going in the right direction. And I don't care how many pull-ups I do, how many dead press I do, how many, shoulder press I do. I can't see my back. So what I do is I get in the mirror and I flex it out. And I turn around and I try to see what my back looks like. Because when I can see what my back looks like, I can determine whether or not I need to work on something. And that's pretty much how you do. So with that being the case, that's the way I can see myself, but I can see you a lot better. I can see a person that I'm training a lot better. I can understand what he needs. Boxing or martial arts, we'll just stay with boxing. Boxing is an art that it takes more than your fist balling up to throw a punch. When you throw a punch, you have to have the correct fist. Otherwise, no matter what the rest of your body is doing, you can break your own hand. So if you don't throw the right fist with the right closure and the right imprint, then you're going to break your hand. But then you have to work on your wrist. Then you have to work on your forearm. Then your bicep and your tricep. Then your shoulder. Then your side. Then your hip. Then your leg. Then your calf. Then your foot and your ankle. Right? All of that means something. So the reality is when I train somebody, I start at the bottom. That's why I do what I call a total body workout. That's why my workout takes 3.5 hours. I come downstairs in the morning. The first thing I do is put that weight vest on and do 200 that's a 40-pound weight vest. I do 200 push-ups, 4 sets of 50 with only a 30-second break in between each set. Then I do my pull-ups. I do 40 pull-ups. That's 4 sets of 10. Then I do 40 chin-ups. That's 4 sets of 10. Then I do 2 sets of 20 dips because I'm working on other things. Then I take the vest off. Then I do a plank. Then after the plank, I roll over and do my crunches. After my crunches, I do certain weight training. I do shoulder shrugs. I do single arm obliques. I do dumbbell press. I do single arm press. Then I start doing curls. Then I do wrist curls. Then I do wrist curls this way. Then I do wrist curls this way. Then I turn them over like this because I'm working on all this right here. I want that wrist to be able to work and function. Then after I finish doing all that, I grab a 25-pound plate, hold it right here, and then I do my squats. I do 200 squats a day and 200 calf raises a day. I ain't done. But see, that's kind of how I work. I do the whole body. People say, how? I don't know how either. I just know what I want to be. And that means that I got to do something to be this. I can't, this ain't going to happen by accident. That's how I get to where I'm at 58 years old. So you see me, appreciate it. I like exercises that work out the whole body, not too big on weightlifting, more on stretching, observation. You know, yeah, I understand that. Hey, look, I wasn't big on weightlifting either, but when I started lifting weights, I made my calisthenics work better. If that's a thing. You know, I do push-ups now with a 20-pound vest on. I do pull-ups with a 20-pound vest on. I do squats with a vest on holding a 25-pound plate. So that's a 40-pound vest with a 25-pound plate. I got a 20-pound vest and a 40-pound vest. But I mean, like, I'm trying to, like Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee made his body a machine. That's pretty much what I like. That's why if you see me with my shirt off, you're like, whoa, wait a minute, this dude is in shape. So it's evident that I put the work in. It didn't come by accident. It came by the work. You put the work in, you get the results. And make sure, I know I'm up here and I keep saying this, but make sure, please, that y'all hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, so that we can continue to have conversations just like this every time I get back online. These are conversations that make other people that's not talking and they just watching and they listening, they learning. Somebody was commenting, telling me they got. I did a video earlier about the mouthpiece. Why I keep a mouthpiece in. My mouthpiece is on the other side of the room because I was running in it. I tell them, I say, man, they said, why you wear a mouthpiece all the time, coach? And keep from getting your teeth knocked out. Keep from getting your jaw broke. Laugh out loud, coach. You make somebody mad talking about how much you'll do in a workout. Laugh my butt off. Funny, if a person want to train and then hear all that, yeah. Hey, look. Yeah, man. Hey, look. I do some real work, bro. Hey, look. My workout routine is crazy, but it didn't start that way. It started at the beginning. I teach a 50 package. A 50 package means 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups, 50 squats, 50 forward and backwards arm rotations, 50 jumping jacks, and I ran or walked for 30 minutes. That's walk 15 minutes away from the house, walk 15 minutes back. Run 15 minutes away from the house, run 15 minutes back. That was the workout. That was the workout I started with. I did a magazine article. I know most of y'all probably think I'm tripping. Hold on 1 second. All right, I'm back. Woo! Man, I'm so tired, I ain't feel like getting up. Hey, look, this is a magazine called Coastal Virginia Magazine. That's your boy, Coach Carl, right there. So I was going to say I did this magazine article, but, you know it's going to be some haters up here that's going to think I'm lying. You know what I'm saying? So I did a magazine article. I don't even know what year this was, man. I forget about stuff as soon as they do it, man. This is October 2019. October 2019. Now I'm going to try to find it. Hold up. I think I just passed it. Yeah. Did a whole spread on your boy. When I was 52 and I had the gray beard. 52 is the new 25. See that? The whole magazine article. And the magazine article was talking about being 52 and being in shape. And my whole thing was I talked about the 50 package. And I also talked about how I learned how to diet. I learned how to diet by Googling. The first thing I did was Google how many calories should the average person eat a day. And it said 2,400. Then I said, well, how much of that should be carbs, protein, fat, sugar, and sodium? And I wrote the numbers down. And that's why I got a video on my channel called The Best Plan to Lose Weight. I don't play with this game. This game, I'm serious with this game. So I tell people, it might seem like I do a lot of stuff now, but I started off at the beginning. I couldn't run. I tried to run. I hadn't ran in years. So I went walking. Now I go running. Now the most I done ran probably is like maybe 13 to 14 miles. I try to run more than that because, you know, I'm 58 years old. I ain't gonna try to hurt nothing. I mean, I'm just trying to stay in shape. I'm not trying to compete as a runner. So, yeah. But I forgot I had the magazine until I started talking about it. Say non-sports related. When did you get your last tat? Probably, let me see. 2013 is when I started training. 2000. Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you something funny. Just cause you asked the question, we're gonna keep this 100. I tell y'all, I don't gotta tell no lies. In 2013, this was me. 5'6", 201 pounds. Look a little chubby in the face. 5'6", 201 pounds. Came home, decided, I'm tired of training everybody else, time to train myself. 60 days later, I lost 60 pounds. 6 months later, that's me. 5'6", 135 pounds. Now, with that being the case, if you can see from the first picture, I had no tattoos. I was 0, and I was 46. This one, I had about 3 tattoos, and I was 47. Now, because I always experiment with the beard, so I let the beard grow out, right? And then maybe 40, because I was 46, maybe 48 years old. That was me at 48 with the full beard. You know what people used to call me? Popeye. They said that dude looked like Popeye. I was cut up. And there's just, I mean, it is what it is. And then this is like maybe 52. Because that's when I did the article. 52 is the new 25. And then as you see, you know, tattoos got better. But I got all my tattoos, dog, in 3 years. From 47 to 50, I was all tattooed out. I had 100 different visits at the tattoo shop. 100. Always getting something different. Have you ever had a Heineken bottle broken over your head during a fight? No. I ain't never had nobody break nothing over my head. Thank God for small favors. I might have another knot. I don't need another knot. Sculpted with tats. Hey, look, man. Look, my thing was, you know, look, I changed the whole game. I made people realize that you can get tats, bruh. Hey, look, I just started closing in on everything. Both arms, for whole front. Then I went here. I just shot this picture a couple of days ago. Then I did the whole back. Got all kinds of sayings and quotes. Everything I ever heard that made sense, I got it on my body. I spent a lot of money getting tattoos too, but I started getting I got tattoos on my face. I don't know if you can see them now. I can't see them. I got the word faith on one side. I got the word incomplete coming down. I got a broken heart here for my mother and my father both died. Then I got a $sign right here. And it's, cause I tell people, money on my mind. I had these tattoos. Man, I got tattoos all on my neck, all on the back of my neck, all down the side of my neck. Man, I love tattoos, man. I like the pain, man. People say, man, don't them Jones hurt? Yeah, they hurt. But that's what I like about it. I got tattoos on my hands. Yeah, so I got different things, man, for different reasons. But I love tats, man. Can you please stand in front of a camera? Like, can you please stand in front of camera, like real close? No. You look like Ja Rule. Hey, look. I don't look like no Ja Rule. Ja Rule got a round head. I got a long head. Yep. No, determination goes a long way. I tell people I lost 60 pounds in 60 days. It's all about what you want, bruh. It's all about what you want. And I wanted it. I wanted it bad enough that I was willing to work for it. But please make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all keep hitting that subscribe button. And thank y'all for the dialogue and the conversation. I got people texting me on my phone for different reasons. Yeah. Were you in a frat? No. Appreciate you subscribing though. 100. No, I was never in a frat. I went to college, but I never pledged nothing. I only went to community college 2 years. I went to community college at the same time I went to barber school. Most people don't know I've been a barber for over 40 years. I started cutting hair at 15 years old. At 18, I went to a shop. I worked from 18 to 24 at a shop. And on my 25th birthday, I opened up my own shop. So it's like long story. So I've been owning shops since 1992. I closed my last shop in 2020 during COVID. I never had to look back. It's funny, man, when you turn 58 years old, you realize you had a full life. It's things that I did that don't even make sense. Like, I don't even remember them. Like, I have to be talking to somebody. You don't walk around with all your accolades on your shoulder. I have to actually be talking to people. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you something about my life. Y'all know I was in magazines. You know that. Let's see. They done wrote about me a couple of times for different things. But I also, I'm going to show it to you if I can pull it up. Been so long. Man, why come? Gotta type in a whole sentence. I ain't lying, man. Sometimes this junk be doing crazy stuff. Phone jumping all around, doing everything but what I ask you to do. Everything but what I ask you to do. All right, let's see. I think I might have it now. All right, dang, no picture. I need a picture. Because if I tell y'all this and they ain't got no picture, it's going to look crazy. All right, there you go. Now, y'all know my name is Carl Parker. My first name is Walter Carl Parker. This right here, My Pen, My Pad, My Way. That's a book that I put out. I don't even remember what year it was. That's how much stuff I be doing, man. I can't even begin to tell you what year it was. It was during the time I had another shop. So it was before 2009 because I closed my shop in 2009 and moved to another location. And it was before that. The book was called My Pen, My Pad, My Way. Story of a Poet. And so I do poems. I try to do everything, man. Everything that somebody said you can't do, I tried to do it. Everything they said you can't do. I spent my whole life defying the odds. I spent my whole life defying the odds. Now I'm going to show you something else that y'all wouldn't know. This right here is a record. Because I was on an independent record label when I was 18 years old. Went by the name Cool Carl. Me and my DJ. That was my first record that ever came out. I was on the radio and everything back when I was 18 years old. So I was popular doing stuff and not always doing something negative, but I was popular. I was a rap artist. And then I did so many years of rapping and opening up shows for some of the bigger name rap artists that weren't big at the time. Then when I got off the record label in 91, I opened up my own recording studio called True Talent Records. And then I rocked with that for a little while. And then I decided to put out a poetry book because I had never done that. So I wrote a whole poetry book, 108 pages, called My Pen, My Pad, My Way. And then from there, I did all this stuff at the same time. That's why I try to tell people, let me be the example of what you can do with your life. You can do anything you want to do. I did everything I wanted to do with my whole life. Never was on drugs. None of that stuff. Just to drink a little bit. I used to drink beer and wine or whatever. Not one wino, but I used to drink beer and stuff like that. But the whole thing was I decided to drop all that. I went vegan because I wanted to see if I could do that. You from Philly? Nope. But the record label I was on was from Philadelphia. It was in Westville. We recorded in Philadelphia at Sigma Sound Recording Studio, and the record label was in Westville, New Jersey. But it was called Urban Beat Records. Yep. Hey, look, cause when they, you know why people do that, man? Why people put on so much weight, don't take care of their health and all that stuff? Because if you think about it, I don't know how old you are, but if you think about it, when you were 18, or if you know anybody 18, anybody up here, and you saw somebody 58, they looked old to you. They look old. They didn't talk like you talk. They didn't walk like you walk. They won't hip. They won't hip hop. They don't do the stuff that we do now when you are in the kind of shape and you live in the kind of life that you want to live. See, so they look old. So when you 15 or 18 and you become 58, you think you're supposed to be old. So you stop doing everything. I had a guy tell me one day, he said, well, I ain't going to live forever anyway, so I'm going to eat what I want. But you're diabetic. So you might not live forever. You might die at some point. But you're going to eat any way you want to eat. So let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about that. Okay, so you are diabetic and you're 58 or 60 years old and you don't want to eat right. So you're not going to die tomorrow. But what is going to happen to you is you're going to start losing parts of your body. You can lose your hands. You can lose your arms. You can lose your legs. You're going to lose your feet. So you want to go through that before you die? And saying, I don't want to go through that before I die. So that's why I try to do the right thing with my life. It's about health, people. It's about health. It ain't about aesthetics. No one up here cares that I got a six-pack at 58 years old. What you care about is that I'm healthy at 58 years old. That's the ticket. That's the ticket I'm selling. You know what I'm saying? You want to buy a ticket? That's the ticket I'm selling. I'm selling the ticket to better health. So that's why when we get 58 years old and I can say I did all these things, I can still do them. People don't know I still ride Willys on a bike. I got a skateboard in the other room. I still ride a skateboard. You see what I'm saying? I got video footage of me online, me and the skateboard. That's what it's all about. And people don't understand. You get to this point, it don't mean you stop living. You get to 50, you don't stop living. The truth is you can live to be 100. So if you're 50 and you can live 50 more years, that's a whole nother life. You can have a whole nother life, but they give up. So they start at 40 saying, well, I'm getting old now, man. I'm getting old. I had people tell me I'm getting old at 30. You're not getting old. You're 30. If you can live to be 100 by taking care of yourself, that means you got 70 more years to live. You got to make a choice. We all make choices. I'm just choosing to do something different. I used to drink, but I didn't understand what drinking was doing for me. Drinking don't give you no money. Drinking don't do them to make you spend money. You going in there buying a bottle of alcohol that costs $30. And if you're buying the cheap stuff, you could be out there even quicker. So the reality is, hey, look, man, we can do something different with our lives. We ain't got to go with the format. The format says even retirement was at 67. It was at 65, first 62, 65, 67, right? You know why they keep pushing it back? Because we living longer. Ain't that funny? Some people are living longer. Not everybody, because somebody ain't going to make it past 40 because they didn't beat themselves up. I have too many friends that have died from liver cancer, from prostate cancer, from heart attacks, strokes, diabetes. Come on, man. I tell people all the time I will not die from something that I can control. So if I can't control it, it's understandable. So I'll take an L. But I can control being a diabetic by not eating that much sugar. I can control not being an alcoholic by not drinking that much alcohol. I can control my blood pressure by not letting people bother me and not eating too much sodium. We can control our life. You just got to want to. You got to find a reason. I'm still young. I just see elders that don't take a chance for better fitness. Hey, look, because they think it's too complicated. When you start you're 33. I appreciate you being 33, bro. My son is 33. My oldest son is 33. My son is 33. I got another son, 31, and daughter, 27. Man, the reality is, right now, you learning a lesson. You learning a lesson that you might not learn until we got to talking. We get to dialoguing. Life don't stop at 33. Life starts at 33. At 33 years old, you are out of grade school. You are out of college. You got a job. Even if it ain't the job you want, even if it ain't your lifetime job, you still got one. But the reality is this: you get to take 33 and make it 103 by starting right now. You could be out of shape, you could be overweight, you could be alcoholic. You could change all that today. Everything can change today. You can change your whole life and do something different with your life. And somebody said health is wealth. Carbonated Taza, I appreciate you being here. Health is wealth. It's the only thing that we can control. We can't control who run into our house with a car. We can't control who jack the prices up at the grocery store. We can't control our boss firing us. We can't control half the stuff that's out here, but we can control our health. Because what we put in our body is the only reason why we get sick or don't get sick, get well or don't get well. We put it in our body. If your mouth never opens, nothing inside your body is going to go wrong. It only goes wrong from what you put in there. If you just drank water, look at it. Y'all hear how much water this is? This is a gallon. I drank a gallon. That's how much I got left. A swallow. You got to put that water in. Your body is 80% water. If you don't give your body water, then what you doing? Everything got to be lubricated. Let me explain something to you. You got a car. You seen the car. You been in the car before. It runs on oil and runs on gasoline. That is so many things going on in that car. The gasoline is making the engine run, but the oil is going through everything. It's going through everything. It's keeping everything lubricated, right? So the brakes work when you hit them. So when you hit the gas pedal, the carburetor works. So the fuel injection works so you can shoot out, all of that. Everything is being lubricated by oil, and the gasoline is making the engine run. This is your gasoline and your oil. It's the only thing we require to put in our body to make it run. And people still don't do it. They still don't do it. The Music Man, 739, jab. Pat, pat, pat. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all being here. I really do. Life, man, life takes turns all the time. Sometimes we take a good turn. Sometimes we take a bad turn. Sometimes people just ignorant to the fact. They don't know the information. Sometimes you just don't know the information. But what did the judge say to a friend of mine back in the day? He said, I didn't understand the rules, Your Honor. He said, ignorance of the law is no excuse. He locked him up anyway. He said, I ain't know driving over 20 miles per hour was considered a reckless driving ticket. He was like 40 miles over the hour. It gave him 30 days in jail to think about it. Ignorance of the law is no excuse, right? So when I tell people about not taking care of their body, ignorance is no excuse. Find it out. There's always somebody that want to talk to you about something. Some people ain't talking about nothing. They just talking around in circles. If you're dealing with a person that's talking around in circles, then find somebody else to deal with. You can always come to my channel. You can always ask me the question, and I'm always going to give you the answer. My sister told me one time, my sister got a PhD in history. You know what she told me? She said, having a PhD don't make me smarter than nobody else. It just means that I know where to find the answer. That's what I say. I'm not the smartest boxer coach in the world. I'm not the smartest fitness trainer in the world. I'm not the smartest dietitian in the world. But one thing I know from having 58 years of living behind my back, I know how to find the answer. What challenged me the most when switching my diet? I started getting old right in front of myself. I started being old. I started having a hard time getting out of bed. My back was hurting. My leg was hurting. My knee was sore. And I was in excellent shape up until 40 years old. People don't understand how 40 to 46 affected my life. All right, at 40 years old, I started teaching people boxing. I had already got out the karate studio, wasn't training no more. I was just going by speaking to people, right? Decided I didn't want to teach karate no more. So I want to teach boxing. So at 40, I started teaching boxing right out of my backyard. At 41, I opened up a boxing gym. I kept the boxing gym for 5 years, right? Taught everybody. Then I decided to leave the boxing gym because my sons were going to go to college. And I wanted to go to another guy's boxing gym, and I became the head coach there. But by the time I got to his boxing gym, I realized I wasn't in shape in my gym. So for that 5 to 6 years, I wasn't training. So every day I got out of bed, my leg hurt, my knee hurt, my back hurt, had a headache. Blood pressure was raising. I didn't know what was going on. Everything was conking out at the same time because I wasn't training. So first thing I did was say, do you want to live? Excuse me. Do you want to live? And do you want to have quality of life? Because a whole lot of people going to live. Quality of life. means more than just living. I want to wake up in the morning and not be in pain. I want to wake up in the morning and not have a headache. I want to wake up in the morning and my feet touch the floor and I started dancing. Started dancing. Pow. Pow. I'm saying, y'all get it? Y'all get it? I want to wake up and be happy. And in order for that to happen, I got to do something. So I came downstairs one morning. Well, I'll tell you a story. I walked past my own mirror and my belly was hanging over my belt. And I said, oh, wait a minute, hold up. I ain't never been there before. It's a new thing for me. So when I realized that was the case, I said, what can I do? I said, first of all, I can't keep drinking 40 ounces at night, going to bed, drinking a 40 ounce at 10 o'clock at night, because I didn't work from the barbershop and the boxing gym from 5 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock at night. That's a long time. Then I came home, stopped at the store, got me a honey bun, got me a 40 ounce of Coke 45 or Budweiser or Old English 800. Either one of the three. I wanted the Coke 45 because it was stronger than the rest of them, right? I came home, I drank at 10 o'clock, went to bed at 11 o'clock. How much sense does that make? Slept all this right here, just growing at night. It's growing because it's got the right components to grow. So with that being said, I woke up that morning. I walked past the mirror, saw my belly hanging over my belt, and I decided right then that things got to change. I came downstairs, went to the refrigerator, got a bottle of Coke 45, a 40 ounce. It was 20 ounces left. I dumped it in the sink. I looked in the cabinet. I got this wicker basket on top of my refrigerator. It's a wicker basket. You put all the snacks in it. I had cupcakes. I had Twix. I had Snickers. I had Milky Way. I had Three Musketeers. I had chocolate chip cookies. I had everything. I came right over here and put it in the dumpster, right in the trash. Took it outside, put it in the dumpster outside. Didn't even want to respect it being in my house. Went outside, put it in the dumpster. Then I went to work that morning and I Googled how many calories should a person be eating just to be in normal shape. And it says 2,400. So then I started asking it about the calories, the carbs, the protein, the fat, the sugar, and the sodium. I did the whole nine. I got me a notebook. I'll show you something. When I was showing y'all this magazine I was in, something fell out of it. This is how I started eating from the beginning. I know y'all can't read that, but see those numbers? All those numbers being circled? This was my first diet, my normal day of eating as a vegan. I changed it. First, when I started losing weight, I wasn't vegan. I was still eating chicken, I was still eating eggs, and I was still eating seafood. But I became vegan in 2014. I started dieting in 2013. This right here was a plan called my first normal day of eating as a vegan. I was only eating 1,435 calories, bringing in 118 carbs, 136 protein, 41 fat, 20 sugar, and 3,210 sodium, which was over the sodium I needed to have. But because the chicken that I was eating was plant-based and it was higher, it was 580 grams for 3 pieces of chicken, and I was eating 6 pieces. They was like chicken tenders, but they was plant-based, but they had too much salt in them. So that's why I stopped eating it. But I changed my whole game. You gotta learn the game. I sat down and realized I had to learn the game. And so, once I started it, I wouldn't look back. And now that it's built in. Anything you do for 30 days becomes a habit. If you do it for 30 days, it becomes a habit. Well, for 30 days, I was cracking the whip. So it became a habit. And I just kept pushing and started watching the results, and I kept pushing, and the results kept coming. Yeah, so once I started pushing, I kept pushing. Hey, look, somebody say you know everything. Now, I don't know everything, but at 58 years old, you should know something. Somebody asked me, what is the meaning of life? The meaning of life is to experience things and to have fun, but not experience so much that you hurt your life. Because some people want to experience cocaine. Some people want to experience crack. Some people want to experience fentanyl. They want to know how high can I get? And they die. So they never knew how high they got. But the life is to procreate. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to have kids so that your kids can have a life and you teach them the things you know so they can have a life. We got to keep it moving. Praise God and keep it moving. Like this live. I appreciate it too, bruh. Person. I don't know if it's a bruh, sister. In what ways has being in shape and eating healthy improved your life? Oh my God. Hey, look, no doctor's visits. When I go to the doctor, you know what he say? Suzanne, come here for a second. Look at Mr. Parker. That boy got a six-pack at 58 years old. I need to start going to the gym. Y'all need to stop bringing donuts in the morning. That's what they say. I go to the tattoo shop. He said, what you get? I said, I'm going to get a little tattoo right here. He said, hey, yo, look my man right here. He about 55 years old. Dude, cut up, man. Look at him. That's what you get. That's one of the things to do for your life. But real talk, no doctor's visits. No bad health. I can walk out the front door right now and go run 5 miles. Put my headphones on and go run 5 miles. Simply because I can. You know, I don't have ailments. I haven't had a common cold. A regular cold where your nose running and your eyes running since I was 24 years old. I don't get sick. I tell people when I die, I'm probably walking down the boulevard and a plane gonna come out and land right on top of me. Be a devil inside driving the plane. I finally got this food. Say this guy's better than us. No, I'm just working. Hey look, I'm just doing the same thing that I'm telling y'all can do. It ain't nothing special. I'm doing the same thing I'm telling you can do. I even give you the recipe. You can get the same thing I get. Do the same thing I did to get it. How did you stay motivated throughout those first 30 days? Cried. That's how I stayed motivated. I cried. I had a son that was in Navy boot camp at the time I started working out. He hadn't seen me. I hadn't seen him. He was in Navy boot camp in Chicago, right? And every time he wrote me a letter, it was about how hard training was. He sent me a blue Navy knit hat. And I would run in that Navy knit hat every single day and literally cried. I would run down the street and my legs was hurting so bad, my cardio was hurting so bad, I would literally be crying to myself. I didn't know whether I was crying or sweat. One day I was trying to make it home. I had ran like maybe 2 miles. I was trying to make it to the crib. It was hot outside. I was dizzy. I was tired. And I said, God, please do something to help me get home. It started raining. And that rain started running on me, bruh. And I felt tears coming with the rain. It was like God was listening to me. He was trying to make me get to the crib. And I made it to the crib. And I said, from this point on, I ain't never going to be in this bad a shape. So I was starting to get in better shape then. But when my son came home and he finally got out of AIT school and he got out of the car and he came to I saw him pull up. One of his boys brought him here because his AIT school was in like maybe about 45 minutes from here. So when his boy brought him here, we came outside, me and my other son. And I had a t-shirt on, had a big t-shirt on, and my other son, he work out just like all of us work out the same. And when my son got out of the car, he said, yo, and I said, what's up, man? He said, let me see that six-pack. You've been hearing about that. I say, he was like, dude, you got a six-pack. And he was going crazy. And it just made me feel like I'd done everything I was supposed to do while he was gone. He was gone for like 6 weeks, something like that. And 9 weeks, some 6 to 9 weeks. And when he came home and I showed him that six-pack, we was tripping. He was tripping, I was tripping. He had a six, but he kept a six-pack. And then we took a picture, the three of us together, with our shirts pulled up, showing a six-pack. That was one of the best days of my life. Just because he saw me saying I was going to do it. Somebody said, Canyon videos, why spread negativity for no reason? Because he don't know how not to. Sometimes people just do stuff. But I put him on the timeout, y'all, because he interrupted the program. HG Sucker. What's good, man? You know, some people just spread negativity. Y'all know people. Y'all know people. People, hey, look, you got to understand something. Everybody don't want to see you succeed. Everybody, the devil got soldiers out here. Just like you hear people saying, God bless you and take care of yourself and may God continue to bless your life and something like that. You got people that saying God ain't blessing you. Screw your life. Drink some beer. Snort some crack cocaine. We got those guys out here too, because the devil got soldiers too. But somebody says, what do you normally eat in a day? Hey, man, you don't really want to know the answer to that question, do you? You really don't. Nah, you really don't want to know the answer to that question. I'm trying to tell you. Don't follow my plan. That's the first thing. That's my what they call it, a waiver. Don't follow my plan. I'm not normal. See, understand something. I challenge myself every day to do something. I challenge myself. I just That's why I got to this point. I keep pushing myself in different directions. All right, what I'm doing right now, all last week, I had 2 salads every day. One salad at about 4 to 5 o'clock, and the other one about half hour later, maybe 45 minutes later. So I had 2 salads. That was all I eat. I do OMAD. You know what OMAD is? 1 meal a day. So I eat for 1 hour a day. Everything I'm gonna eat, I lay it out and I eat it for 1 hour. I've had days where I had 1 waffle, all vegetables, a piece of fruit, and some peanuts. And I'll be full when I get up, stomach poking out like Santa Claus. But now, what I'm doing now, today I'm eating vegetables. I'm eating white corn, yellow corn, asparagus, and carrots. It's a mixture. And then I'm gonna have that, and I'm gonna have rice and beans. Those are 2 things that I'm gonna eat. So rice and beans, red beans and rice, and then I'm gonna have the vegetables. I'm gonna put them together. I got an orange over there, and I got 1 protein bar. So that's it. That's how I eat. At 5 o'clock, well, it ain't gonna be 5 o'clock now because already after 4:20, I still gotta take a shower, then come and cook. So I'm looking at 5:30. So 5:30 to 6:30. I eat about 13, maybe 1,300 calories a day. But I train myself to not need as much food as the average person. I train myself to have discipline that basically says that I want to change my life. And sometimes that means you got to do something extreme. You can't keep doing the same thing and expect something different to happen. I don't suggest everybody do what I do. OMAD is hard. But what you can do is eat 2 meals a day. You know, when we was in grade school, they told us breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack. You know, that's way too much food. That's way too much food. You don't need that much food. Sometimes you get the dinner and you still full from lunch. You get the snack and you still got to eat a snack because it's part of the program, but you don't need a snack. All I'm saying is my plan is crazy. I eat about anywhere between 13 and 1,500 calories a day, depending on what it is. Say, looking cute? Come on, man. You can't think I'm cute. I'm too old to be cute. But I appreciate the compliment. No, that's why I said, don't let the stuff that people done told you all your life fool you, cause it ain't true. You can do a lot of stuff. Trust me. You see, I work out for 3.5 hours a day. I run 3 to 5 miles every day. I hit the bag for 30 minutes every day, and I do a live stream almost every day, and I still eat the same thing, 1,300 to 1,500 calories per day, and that is it. I drink plant-based protein to cover for the protein I don't get from the food that I eat. But bruh, I'm trying to tell you, don't let them fool you. Don't let them fool you. I'm bringing in 140 grams of protein. I weigh when I went to the doctor 2 weeks ago, I was 144 pounds. I went for my physical. And first thing he said was, Mr. Parker, you in exceptional shape. And I said, I appreciate it. That's what I try to tell people. Hey, look. Don't let them fool you, man. They'll fool you. They'll have you thinking that if you don't eat 4,000 calories a day, you ain't in shape. You ain't. Look, it is what it is. Do I look malnutrition? I'm just asking you. You might be late coming up here. Do I look malnutrition? Right about here. Do I look malnutrition? Or do I look like I'm in shape? That's 144 pounds. Different poses, because those pictures was all taken on different days. Look, I tell people, don't let them fool you. Don't let them tell you what you can't do. You got to be willing to change your life. Hey, look, I got a picture for you. And this Bruce Lee. That's Bruce Lee when he was about 20-something. I'm more cut up now than Bruce Lee was. And Bruce Lee was cut. You're not going to be malnutrition. Eating 1 time or 2 times out of the day, that's a start for a good quality of a diet. Timing within our 24-hour days on how is a very good choice, a way of balancing our diets. I'm telling you, everybody can't do what I do, but if you wake up in the morning and you drink a protein shake, not a smoothie, not that sugar crap, drink a real protein shake for breakfast, all right? Go to work. Eat salad, and if you eat chicken, eat salad mixed with grilled chicken for lunch. Then when you come home, eat a pretty decent sized dinner. I'm talking about 1 or 2 pieces of chicken. I'm talking about all vegetables. I'm talking about a piece of bread if you want a bread. eat a protein shake in the whole 9 yards, and fill up. And then at night for a snack, eat peanuts, cashews, sunflower seeds, or fruit. I promise you, you'll be in the best shape of your life, and it won't take you long to get there. 6 months, you'll be looking like me. Then you gotta do is work out, because you want to cut and mold it once you get it the way you want it to get to. But look, I appreciate y'all logging in. I appreciate y'all hitting the subscribe button. Thank you for everything y'all do for me. Please look at my channel. I got another channel, the exact same name as this channel. It just doesn't have the word shorts at the end. So if you were to go on there and push in at Coach Carl 757_fitness, you're going to find this channel and my other channel. This one says _fitness_shorts. The other one just says _fitness. I got 2 fitness channels. One, I'm pushing hard. I've been had for like almost 2 years. I'm at 50,000 plus subscribers. This one is a new channel because I felt like I needed to give a different set of people a little something different. So with that being the case, I'm rocking 2 channels every day. I drop 2 videos on each channel every day, 7 days a week. So with that being the case, thank y'all for logging in. Thank y'all for hitting the subscribe button. Thank y'all for leaving a comment. Please hit the notification icon so y'all can be notified every time I drop a new video. I got to get ready to go because I got to go upstairs and take a shower. Then I got to come downstairs and cook and start cooking because at 5 to 5:30, I sit down and trust me, when I look at the clock and I see what time it is, 1 hour later, I'm done eating. All right, with that being the case, thank y'all for everything that y'all done for me, everything y'all going to do for me, and for everything I've been able to help y'all with. I thank God for y'all being in my life. Once again, it's your boy, Coach Carl. Mr. 58 is the new 28, and I'm going to catch y'all on the flip side, because right about now, your boy is out.